Another thing, dog, that is tender, but so gratifying to kind of hear. I want to talk about your role in your mother's life as her primary caregiver. And it's tough to see your parents age, but it's also tough to be the caregiver. What have you learned throughout this experience now that the roles have reversed? I was reminded by the video that I seen, you telling your mom, like, let's dance. You feel what I'm saying? It's so cool to just kind of see, but as life happens, now you've taken on this role. How has that process been for you?
My mom has always been my hero, so to be able to share this time with her, and I have a lot of friends who have lost their mother, and not too long ago, maybe last year or the year before, time flies, I don't know, but not too long ago, my boy G-Nut lost his mother, and I have several friends who have lost their mother, and my boy G-Nut was taking care of his mom the same way, and when he lost his mother, it's like you'd give anything to be able to take her to the doctor one more time, or to help her use the restroom, or help her sit down or something, or whatever she, hey, where you at? Hey, come home, because I need the remote. I can't find it. He'd do anything to stop what he's doing to bring his mama the remote again. So seeing that right before my mom couldn't walk, my mom, she ended up falling and hitting her head. She would fall every now and then, but one time she fell, and that was it, kind of, where it's like, okay, her right leg and her right hand don't work. It's not because of a stroke. She has something called Parkinsonians, and it just is, her right hand don't work, right leg don't work. She has something else called corticobasal degeneration, where it just, I don't know what it is, but everything ain't working, like her bodily functions. And my mother-in-law, rest in peace, she just passed away a couple months ago. She had dementia, Alzheimer's dementia, full stages. But, first my mother-in-law moved in with us, and she didn't have anybody else to take care of her. Anybody else that would take care of her that wouldn't prey on her finances or something. My father-in-law worked for the railroad for 30 plus years. So he had amazing benefits. My mother-in-law, they got passed on to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law, she worked as a teacher for a long time, so she got amazing teacher benefits. So, some people, they see the paycheck coming in and they're like, yeah, she can come live with me, but me being somebody who don't need that, it's like, I don't need your money. You come live with us. We want to take care of you. That's money's for you. So when my mother-in-law moved in, it was something I was like really kind of encouraging for my mother-in-law. It's like, man, we need her to come stay with us. Because if we don't take care of her, no one's gonna take care of her.
The right way.
The right way, right. Give her the sunset that she deserves. You know what I'm saying? To do what she wants, to, whatever, to be on that pedestal in our household. So when she moved in with us, it was something that I absolutely cherished. And then not too long after that, my mom, got to the part where she physically wasn't able to take care of herself. And in her house with her and my dad, my stepdad, he couldn't do it as well because he working, and it just is something she needs, like a designated, it's a lot. Yeah. My mom take a lot, but for me, it's not something I have to do, it's something I get to do. I look forward to it, and the hardest part in taking care of my mom, she's independent. So she always, it's a struggle for her to let somebody take care of her.
It's hot. Summer is still here, but you can tell it's moving fast. You start looking at the calendar, thinking, I need one more trip, one more cookout, one more day by the water before it's all over. That's why I love Macy's. Whether you're grabbing a fresh fit, a new carry-on for your weekend trip, some shades, sunglasses, anything you may need to host one last cookout, you can get it all in one place. And if you're already starting to think about what's next, and you got a lot of kids, some kids, one kid, like me, you're ready for back to school. Whatever your next move is, Macy's makes the transition easy. From finishing summer strong, then rolling into the next season looking even better.
And she does not, her whole life, she never wanted to be a burden. So now a lot of it is constantly reminding her that, Mom, you're not a burden. And I'll tell her, like, I'll explain it in many ways, but one of the ways I'll tell her is, Mama, I gotta earn my blessings. You know, you think if I don't take care of you the right way, God gonna take everything from me. And it's clear to me too as well, you know, having my ups and downs and, you know, my career, but specifically my finances. This year, the best year I had. The year before that was just under that. The year before that was just, so the last like maybe 3 or 4 years was God positioning me to be in a place financially to be able to take care of my mom and my mother-in-law. And it's clear now. It's clear that God wasn't blessing me with all this money just to go buy new cars and new jewelry, which is nice as well. But you know, it's clear that this is why I was getting these financial blessings so that I can take care of my mom or my mother-in-law. So, you know, I really enjoy the time spending with her, or being able to get her an ice pack, or, you know what I'm saying, or taking her to the doctor, or taking her on a walk in the neighborhood while I'm pushing her in a wheelchair, because she's in a wheelchair 24 hours a day or in a like recliner 24 hours a day. And it's, you know, you see, with my mother-in-law, she lost her mind. With my mom, she lost her body. And it's like, if you had to choose, which would you choose? And they both would choose the other. You know what I'm saying? My mother-in-law would have rather kept her mind and lost her body. My mom, she would have rather, you know what I'm saying? They both, you know, would probably choose the other, you know, but it's a huge blessing to be able to take care of her. I really cherish it. You know, she's my hero. So to be able to be there with her and hang out, and, you know, she loves sports too. So we talk sports all the time, this and that. I didn't tell her who I was coming with. I told her I was going to Atlanta, but I can't wait. I can't wait to go back and tell her, man, I'm with Cam Newton talking about mama. She gonna be, oh shoot, man, she gonna love that.
Man, I'll say this though, bro. It's a blessing to kind of hear. I lost my grandmother to dementia as well too, so I know the struggle. But to kind of get out of this, you know, frame of mind, you was mentioning paying for jewelry. I'm curious to know, what's the most money you spent on a piece of jewelry?
Well, it's almost a trick question, because being a partner with Johnny, me and Johnny are partners on grills, but not the entire jewelry store, even though I am like socially a partner with him. You know, anything I do affects him, anything he does affects me. And this, you know, I'm 100% there for the business. Me and Johnny are partners beyond the financial aspect of it, but being it, I have, invested interest in the jewelry store. What I paid for the jewelry isn't what a customer will pay. So I can kind of cheat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I spend $20,000 on something, it's like somebody else spending $100,000 on something.
Wow.
And, you know, also me being a walking billboard for the jewelry store.
That's the image.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's almost cheating. But there's definitely some pieces, like, it's crazy. Growing up, they say jewelry is a waste of money. Buy a house. So that's what I did. Then the housing market crashed. You know what I'm saying? And that was the worst investment I could have made. Yeah. And now with the price of gold, the jewelry I bought is, I have a piece, this a white cup. It's the size of like a small, like 4-ounce little white coffee cup, water cup. It's small, but it's big for a piece, but it's small for a cup. But, you know, it's a white diamonds around it. And I put white diamonds in the inside and pink sapphires in the inside. It's my little drink cup, okay? The cup itself is 500 grams of gold. So 500 grams of gold.
500 grams.
When I bought it, well, I mean, do the price of gold now, do the math. It's about that now. When I bought it, you know, it was $100,000. Now it's probably for sure over that, just because with the price of gold. So it's crazy that, you know, an investment that really was like a terrible investment at the time ended up being something that like is my most, you know, my biggest asset now.
So two things too, because, you know, I read a story about some particular troubles of Johnny in regards to, business or jewelry. How has that kind of affected business?
Well, I know there was a viral thing that went around. It was just AI though. They were saying the FBI raided him and took him to jail. It's crazy. That actually was started by another rival jeweler who came up under Jauné. Jauné gave them their first job ever, and they worked for Jauné for a long time. Then they stole from Jauné, so Jauné fired them. And now it's just like a hate campaign against Jauné, from rival jewelers. So they put out this whole story that he was selling fake jewelry and the feds arrested him. And man,
so that's false.
It's all 100% false. Yeah, 100% false. But there are certain times where, like it's just how the world works. If he gets into it with an artist because they're buying jewelry and they want something and they find out he maybe gave it to another artist for a cheaper price, now they holding it against him and they want to fight him or cuss him out, and now they hate me because of it, But I kind of, let him be the face of the jewelry. That's, kind of how we built it up. And for me, it's a little easier that way. That way I focus on the music, and when it comes to the jewelry, I'm customer service. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With it and
hospitality.
I'm hospitality.
Yeah,
when somebody has an issue or something, they usually come to me. I maybe don't hear from them at all till there's a problem, and then they're like, "Man, I got a problem, this and that." And it's, with Jauné, with both of us, our goal has never been maximizing our profit. It's always been building repeat clientele. And we've been in business so long now. We got people that bring their kids, and they bring their grandkids. Yeah. So it's the generational turnover of customers and clientele. Jauné now is, training his son and his daughter to kind of follow in his footsteps with the jewelry. Jauné's son he's with him kind of everywhere he goes now, learning the business, kind of building his own identity of, selling jewelry. And that's part of, the struggles of when you build a huge conglomerate of a business, and then you pass it on to your kids and they fuck it up, or they turn to drugs, or they lose it gambling, or they sell it off because they don't want to work there every day. I don't want to do that. I want to do something else, But with Jauné, it's a little different, man, because he came into it. He comes from a jewelry family. He has a brother named Kevin who has a jewelry store. He has a brother named Jimmy, a brother named Daniel. They all are in kind of similar business.
Yeah. Educate me with something real quick. There was a phase we were hearing lab diamonds. Mm-hmm. What is that specifically?
A lab diamond is a diamond they make in a lab, where a regular diamond, a natural diamond we call, like what I'm wearing is a natural diamonds. Okay, these came from the earth, over years and years and years to create the pressurized whatever, I don't know, to make the diamonds. The lab diamond, they basically do all of that, but it don't take 1,000 years. It takes, 5 minutes, or however long.
So, go ahead.
They look identical. If I was to show you, a lab diamond and a natural diamond, none of us could tell the difference. There is no difference in the look of it. It's only a difference in how it was made. So it's a lot cheaper to get a lab diamond than a natural diamond. And I mean, at the end of the day, it boils down to the customer. If the customer wants a lab diamond, if they're in it for the look, then, that's what they'll get. If they're in it for the investment, then they'll get the natural diamond.
So, last couple of questions for me. There's been an ongoing debate, right? And you being in the jewelry business. Man, I had to unlearn this idea that if I kept putting stuff on my hair, that it would automatically grow. I was doing what I thought I knew to do. But I was not paying attention to what my hair actually needed. And when you're trying to keep that length, breakage will have you feeling like your hair is playing games with you. And that right there is the main reason why I love Bask Lather. I've been using their products, and I've been seeing more growth and length. The stimulating scalp and hair balm helps nourish and hydrate textured hair, while the hydrating hair mist keeps it soft and moisturized. It's Black-owned, family operated, and they actually understand textured hair. So if you're trying to get your hair right, stop guessing and give it what it needs. Explore viral bestsellers and products of healthier hair of all types from Bask Lather. Go to baskandlathercode.com and use code FunkyFriday for 20% off. That's 20% off at baskandlatherco.com. Code Funky Friday.